Hi, my name is R.ILKIN. I go by Hannah. I'm the author of Blue Mountain Mist, and today we are doing another insert. This one is very interesting because this one has to do with the medical doctor that pounds the crap out of the nurse. Now, in fairness to the doctor, she does whack him first after he flings on her, but him flinging that whatever still constitutes assault. So she had the right to whack, but one is very, very light. There's some questioning on that. Make a long story short, in the 50 years of existence, and Hannah has dealt with several medical doctors at the professional level, never once has she seen a doctor do anything abnormal like that, because they are the highest in terms of education. So this is really out of the norm. When we are looking at the Alaskan levee break now, what ended up happening is Hannah's work pre-DNA merged two different land masses together. So once those two land masses were merged together, like in the Nemo video 175, where the whale just sort of swallows up everything, that is what these guys want to do. So with Hannah's work and this Intel chip, it became part of C3's history, where all of a sudden medicals made a shitload of money by just arbitrarily falsifying documents, injuring Hannah, tagging Hannah, taking it overseas to want to create a new mega eye somewhere in India or somewhere in China or out of Anatolia. That is the key. There's a couple of things wrong with this picture. First of all, we don't want this type of regulatory management for several reasons. When we looked at the doctor community, these people just want to steal now, and the thieves that make it through this little barrier is now the kings and queens. However, when we look at theft, if we ever wanted someone who just took a couple of classes pretending to be a doctor, and there's a lot of those, believe it or not, and now you need operating on, I'm kind of mortified. You can go to one of them, but I definitely need someone who does the job efficiently as a medical doctor. So between the armies battling the different level of the richest Jews, and then followed with the medical doctors, this became the layout of somewhere out over there. And what they did was they sort of unleashed 1 billion people, clan-based, around the globe, to be able to enforce this eye structure of regulatory management in the name of holy. Now, we really want a different world with Hannah's work. Remember, Hannah came to this earth as a white Negro. She didn't drop that classification. She could have easily went over to China, said she was Chinese, and been the queen of queens, being the #1 Turkologist. And China's zone is all based off historic different varieties of Chukchi and all that, and Tatar, and all Turkic people in all different, in this particular zone here, Yakut, whatever the case may be. Hannah's work also brought out a lot of different issues. Now, why did she produce different topics of issues? She was, again, this concept here, they wanted the newest of the lows by injecting Hannah and extracting information as much as possible from her. Now, for every time this little poor guy wants to make a little bit of money, if he's made into a genetic test, or if he's made into an injury just to steal, that's not how we want to live. We really don't want to live. Hence why, not only did she come in as a white Negro, she came in as someone studying mismanagement of war, and why are they doing war, and why are they doing improper things at this particular level. Now, keep in mind the date. This is 2003. We are almost 2 decades later. So this is absolutely something Hannah doesn't want. Again, for the thieves, if, you know, we should just give them the people that take a couple of courses who are medical doctors and let them live happy, what Hannah has a vision of, which is somewhere in Sin City somewhere, and hopefully they'll survive. But in our case, with the emergence of something like this, we want a way better world. And it's part of the divination story. And if you watch the movie, the 12 skits only now, it's very, very interesting. Keep in mind, immediately actors were brought in 2013, and they were busy setting up this whole system of laziness, as I like to say. We absolutely don't want this structure, and this type of new world order is not good. It doesn't, forget about giving people chances. It's not about chances, it's just the lack of mismanagement, the improper conduct of regulatory law. It's a whole bunch of combination of things. Even the story of Hannah, think about it, she's worth 40 billion. I mean, thousands of legal documents she holds as part of the Vatican too. Now, she pulled a stunt, but that's a different story. Make a long story short, they were able to empty out an entire country and injure so many people just based off Hannah and make-believe stories and them wanting to set up this, including Jews themselves. So it's not just a good thing. Again, it's, we're looking at professionals who don't want to work, or we're looking at something celebrational, which is the emergence of human at a different level. So what are the alternatives? And that is what Hannah is trying to present. The only thing is, the minute she started selling, this time they put key individuals into banks to be able to extract her money. So people are actually supporting Hannah. They have their players in the banks who are funneling money out. So, you know, so if you see the movie, that's the only way you're going to know that Hannah was able to pull a stunt. This is why there's a border right now, invisible, around the zone of Hannan, where a lot of people who are innocent victims were taken in and injured, and Hannah's trying to protect them to the most possible way. So this is the type of structure we absolutely don't want. And it is perfect timing because it not only merges the land masses, Hannah gives alternatives to this style of regulatory and how she can funnel 9 billion jobs to individuals without hurting anyone or anybody. So, or using a woman's creativity for advancement. And this is why she is so important in history, because, and that's why she's known as Prophet Hannah. But again, she's dealing with individuals who have a lot of issues, and this is part of the events of C3's history, where, you know, like, this is exactly what she had to deal with, and they are called knockoff wolves. And the reason this type of behavior happens is, one, their clan base, two, they don't know law, three, they're too much under pressure as humans to produce, and we want to kind of release that pressure. And what's more interesting about Hannah is she actually has Indian children, and she actually has children, Asian in her, 4 different types of Asian in her. So it's not a component of racism or anything like that. It's just a component of providing alternative academic trains of governance, and this is what we don't want. But what we do want,
every day,
is a different thought process, and to break this up. So in C3, it got so ugly that individuals started committing suicide. We don't want that either. So we are really hoping pressure is put in that we are able to finish the 100 proposals And only if you see it, you will know that some type of enforcement has been made, because over the course, and it's always the same people, over the course of many years, this is the type of fraud Hannah had to deal with continuously. So that is where we are today. My phone's ringing. Thank you and have a good day.